And we are recording. I call this meeting to order at 6:01. But I will read the mission and vision today. The TP&PD mission statement to provide a welcoming public aquatic facility managed in a fiscally responsible manner with a focus on educating all ages in the lifelong skills of water safety. We carry out this mission with support and the staff who are compassionate, inclusive, and responsive to the needs of our diverse community, working to foster positive and lifelong experiences with the aquatic environments. TP&PD vision statement, contributing to the quality of life for our community and for future generations through welcoming, fun, safe, and positive aquatic experiences at the Tupelo Pool. And if you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And we will start with roll call. We'll start to my right.
Commissioner Zappa,
Commissioner Shipman present.
you need to get Ellen or?
I go online last.
Oh, Commissioner Frangelo Anderson present.
And then we are joined online by,
Commissioner Gangler present.
thank you very much, and we are also joined by our executive director and our
Aquatics Program Manager,
Yeah.
Anastasia Shapiro.
I always screw up the title.
Hey,
Sorry.
we got you. That's why we're here.
I know his name, I just, the title always gets me. And I will be looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
Commissioner Zappa makes a motion to approve the agenda. Commissioner Frangelo Anderson second.
Got a first and a second, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
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 Aye. Ayes have it. We will move on to the employee of the month.
Our employee of the month was Fabio this last month. Fabio did a great job stepping up as we were making some changes in the morning team. He's been consistent, on time, and he's positively accepted more responsibility, and he's been doing a really great job. So we want to thank Fabio for his great work.
Thank you, Fabio.
Thank you, Fabio. He's amazing.
We also have Fabio's brother working for us. Yeah, so we have both the two oblivious working for us.
There's the family.
And we will move on to citizen comments.
Didn't have any-
No one online.
None online.
None? All right, then we will move on to looking for a motion for the consent agenda.
Commissioner Shipman. For approval of the consent agenda.
Make a motion.
Makes a motion. I'm making a motion.
Commissioner Frangelo Anderson seconds.
Got a first and a second, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
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 Ayes have it. All right, then we will move on to the state of the district. All right. Welcome fellow Tupelo Pool Board members and Tupelo Pool community. As we approach the end of the year, I would like to reflect on our accomplishments of 2024. We were able to complete our feasibility study and share results with our pool community, the Tupelo School District, and the city at large. The results of the study and possible future of the pool were presented to the public. Wait, why did they say copy there twice? Sorry about that, I'll have to remove that. Our future is looking up as more people have graced our pool this past year. Our summer youth pass program brought more kids into the pool as a safe place to spend the summer and have fun. And the healthcare reimbursement program is gaining in popularity with our senior population with 230 pass holders. The amount of people in water exercise classes has increased to 5,058 participants throughout the year. The number of people enrolled in swim lessons this year was a staggering 2,264 participants with $4,870 given out in scholarships, thanks to our donors and the American Red Cross. The amount of swim lessons has grown in large part thanks to Anastasia, our aquatic program manager, and her ingenuity in increasing pool space. One big change we have undergone this year was restructuring of our organization. Brad Harpin, our previous director of aquatic operations, became our executive director and took on more responsibility while giving the same level of care and dedication to the school and its patrons. Hopefully we see the new year bring more positive changes, accomplishments, and resolutions on big decisions like what will happen to the big blue slide. Our past, current, and future achievements could not have been possible without our beloved Tukwila Pool community, its volunteers, the city of Tukwila citizens, and the city of Tukwila citizens. It is to them and everyone involved with the pool that I would like to extend a warm thank you. And just know that it is because of them that we have had a great 2024 and we will have a great 2025. Thank you. Fun reports.
Let me jump in. The biggest thing that we're currently working on is filling our open clerk position for the district. We currently have 3 candidates for the clerk position, and interviews begin this week and essentially tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, Tuesday, and then again the following Tuesday of next week for 3 qualified candidates. So more updates to come. All 3 quick candidates come to us with some level and or some background in what we're looking for from the day-to-day functions of the clerk position, whether it be government, whether it be elections, whether it be school districts, public records, different functions. But again, 3 qualified candidates out of the, I'd say 70 plus non-qualified candidates on Indeed. But you have to remember, people apply because they're required, but even vetting through some of those, there's other people that may have some of the skill sets we're looking for, but again, doesn't meet the immediate qualifications. So these 3 candidates stood out to us. 2 of them emailed directly their interest in the position and did not go through Indeed, and 1 candidate came to us through Indeed. So good candidates.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'd say overall, we're excited to see where these interview rounds go. Next biggest thing is Anastasia Shapiro, our aquatics program manager, is listed as our delegate with Washington City's insurance. Since we are required to have a delegate on our insurance trainings and meeting all our compact requirements. So Anastasia has again supported us in this area. Incident accident reports, we typically don't report these out. But we've got 3 incident reports. We won't go into details. These are very low risk and or low concern incident reports. 2 of these incident reports are typically from the same individual, and we're familiar with the individual who has a history with us of exaggerating and or falsifying some type of a injury or complaint or feeling, but we're familiar. And so we haven't seen her in a while, and we all of a sudden started seeing her again. So the first 2 is the same individual. So we're keeping an eye on this individual. And Matthew, our aquatics manager, has been made aware of what is required should the individual choose to enter our facility in the future. Again, we don't want any false alarms, but we also don't want any false reporting that requires a fire department or an ambulance on site for non-serious related incidents and or accidents. We had our Public Health Seattle King County routine inspection for our aquatics facilities. This is interesting for us because this is 2 this year, 2 visits, both satisfactory. Typically, we only see our health department inspection individuals at least once, but it was great to see them twice. It's a good accountability, checks and balances, but again, satisfactory report. Those are probably the biggest things.
Satisfactory, is that good?
Yeah,
It's
satisfactory.
like
is
one
good.
or the other?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's like the fire department where they say you have to correct something or we fail you, shut you down.
There's no
So,
correction,
yeah.
Okay.
so we're in really good shape there. And then the last biggest thing that I will share, again, just so it's out in the open, is our annual pool closure, just so we're all on the same page and we're aware. Annual pool closure does begin on Saturday, the 21st of December. And these are full day closures through December 31st of this year, with an anticipating opening date of January 1st, which we have a short date anyways, but that is our target reopen date. None of the work we're completing and are hope to accomplish should hinder our timeline. So this should be a pretty straightforward pool closure. Project list is as listed in my notes. And then the last piece here is feasibility. I just wanted to quickly jump in. I know we have a feasibility report coming up, so I'm going to leave these for that. And that is the end of my report in short. Any questions that I can answer or provide context?
Hey, Brad, I was looking over the operations report and I just, and maybe it's explained. I apologize, if I missed it. I'm just curious, were there no parent and taught
So
classes?
Ellen,
Yeah.
it's kind of Stacy, you're gonna do our operations report first, maybe.
Oh. Sorry for that faux pas.
No, jumping in. I like it. We're getting there. Hey, Shapiro, you want to jump in real fast?
Yeah, to answer your question, yes, there was no parent and taught offered. I am down an instructor on the weekends, so the main focus has been our minnows and sharks program. I was able to increase, class offerings from the last session, given that I had an additional instructor who was available on Tuesdays and Fridays. I have currently hired 3 new instructors, to continue moving forward with the program changes I'm making in 2025. I am interviewing 2 more candidates this week. I'm just trying to staff as much as I can, going into the new year. Our resident numbers did go down a little bit from last session, 82% only. Not bad, but I still don't have a breakdown of all of the cities. Just the way that reporting works in Explore Recreation is not very detailed, so that is what I currently have. And I still was not able to figure out the wait list item for this registration, but in the new year, before the new year, I'm gonna touch base with our case team and see how I can get that wait list working again, so we can see where we lost some of those spots. Scholarship usage has increased just a little bit in our ARC usage and Tukwila resident scholarship, as we got a couple of new applications this last session, but it's our last session before the new year, so everyone will have to reapply this month for 2025. And then Mako Sharks has been pretty steady. It's been really nice seeing at least 25 kids in the water. They're a little crammed in 4 lanes, but they're doing as best of a job as they can right now. And then we did just slightly reduce some of the capacity for Mako Sharks to ensure that we had enough space for our short fin and long fin. Giving Tree is currently live on Explorer, but the donations are not working on the online portion. Explorer has not gotten back to me, just an update there. Explorer has not gotten back to me on my case for that. But for 2025, we will need to, I'll need to start exploring some additional donation websites, just specific to donations that we can continue having open year round. I'm also looking at Facebook donations because there are ways to connect on Facebook to do the campaigns there. So I'm exploring different online options, but in person is what is going to be primarily advertised. And I'm going to extend it through the end of January, just so we have time to really get as many people as we can, since we didn't get questions about it. It has been a challenge moving over onto the new system with that, but for 2025, our game plan is a new donation program platform. WSI course coming up, nothing crazy there. It's all of our internal candidates, no external applicants there. Our water aerobics, our Fridays are gonna be more consistent moving into the new year, with one Friday off for our instructors. So I think that'll help clarify some of these participation numbers for specifically that Friday evening class. That's our newest class that's been added. So there's gonna be a little bit more consistency there. And then part of my operations report as well, I want to direct everyone's attention to page 26. That is our swim club usage report. I was able to capture another month of SMAC, a month of PDST, Pacific Dragon, and our Mako Sharks. The most astounding highlight is that our Mako Sharks, as Brad laughs, our Mako Sharks actually exceed participant numbers, which is great to see. Much more consistent this month, which is most likely why. I've also broken it out by lane usage, who gets how many lanes, how many hours a day. So, to the best of my abilities, I broke that out for you guys, but I just want to highlight our Mako Sharks and their consistency this month.
And that was a suggestion, again, it was recommended to show lane usage or who and or what lanes are allocated to each program. So thank you for that suggestion last meeting. So that is being provided now.
Yeah, that is all I have for this week, unless there's any questions.
Anastasia, what's the goal with this form?
Oh,
The swim
yes.
club usage form in the long run, what is the goal?
In the long run, it's so that we can move forward with evaluating our usage with our swim clubs that utilize us on a hopefully quarterly basis, but at least going into the next contract renewal, so in July, having some supporting data that says, here's your usage. Do you want to move forward with this? Here's what space is available based on your usage, so on and so forth. And so we can ask the right questions and give them the right guidelines based on how many numbers we're seeing. And also, again, our programs, if we can increase our program offerings and showing our consistency in increased program offerings, I think that's also a really important picture to paint when we do come to the table with contract renewals and say, here is what is available. And where you guys are at in that. So.
Anastasia, where's Kennedy listed on this? I don't know the name of their club.
Kennedy and Foster High School are not listed on this.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope to capture them in January, but that will be their last month swimming. So the numbers are gonna be a little bit since they dwindle down to district and leagues and state. So, but it's a good point for our next swim team that comes in. So for example, water polo will begin in the spring. So we'll track their usage. Foster does not have water polo. So it'll be a little easier to start capturing some of Kennedy's numbers as well as Foster's going into the fall and winter of next year.
And the goal, not to cut anybody off, the goal is our high school swim teams coming around that 2:30 mark until about 4 or 5 o'clock. The goal with our high school teams when capturing the data is question mark. What do you do with them? Can you move them to the back end? Do you keep them on the front end? So I think what we're up against here is if we continue to see the demand for tuck with a pool swim lesson programs, there's going to be some difficult conversations with our long-term renters from the 5 o'clock beyond hour, because that's where we see most of our families have the ability to get to the pool to participate in aquatic programs after school. And so this sheet, these numbers will support, as Anastasia said, during contract negotiations in July with our long-term renters who are looking for pool space. But also we have to remember when we look at our pool usage and when we look at some of our long-term renters aren't utilizing the pool to their fullest abilities, right? We need to look at that and go, huh, interesting. They've got 10 kids tonight and we can put 25 in. with 4 instructors or with 6 instructors. We gotta figure out how to recapture some of the water to meet the demand that continues to knock on our door.
And that's
Um,
an equity piece too, because,
yeah.
because you have money in your swim club and can afford to just let lanes lie versus our community accessing it.
Which is interesting because we thought one of the internal discussions was make the phone call and let them know, make them aware, right? Hey, we're tracking usage. This is what we're seeing. Do you intend to fill the pool, use the space you currently have? I would have expected to see an overflowing usage within the club, shifting some of their usage to the Tukwila pool for the lanes that we have access to, but we didn't see that on a grand scale.
So you did reach out to
Oh, yeah,
SMAC.
that conversation had already taken place with our.
And then is there getting to be like any increase like once like the boys swim team season's over? Is there,
Boys swim, no,
there's not enough that are coming in for SMAC after that stuff?
It's Tuesdays, Thursdays are very well utilized with them, and after the 11th, the phone call was made on the 11th, you can see some of the usage increase. But the Monday, Wednesday, Friday continues to dwindle in numbers, where most Fridays we have 0 kids tracked for those days. Which is unfortunate when thinking about where our space is and how many kids I have crammed into 4 lanes. And where I can have them spread out if they have a whole pool, so. The last.
Sorry, I can't remember, you probably said this last time, who's tracking the numbers?
It's a mixture between our head guard staff, our lifeguard staff, the checklist is available.
But we
to them.
control it,
Mhm.
like
Correct.
the external, they're not relying on any information.
No, it's purely observation, and again, it's been one consistent lifeguard tracking it, cause he's been our closer, but. If I don't get a number, I ask whoever the closing manager was or whoever was on staff that day to verify with me on what those numbers are. So I try to stay pretty on top of it with them when it comes to, that usage, so. Yeah, and the last new report, it's on page 30, the last thing I will share before we move on. Is a year-end, kind of 2024 scholarship trend report. From this chart, our summer was our biggest, greater utilization there. We see a larger increase. I did see an increase in applications. Now I don't have the exact number, but this is after we started pushing it, and with summer, it makes sense. We get a few more applicants. Our Tukwila resident scholarship, most of the utilization was that full 100% scholarship, and then after that, we see a pretty consistent utilization of the ARC 80%, because that's the next highest discount versus our Tukwila resident, which is the 75%. So we tend to see more usage in the ARC after the 100% has been exhausted. This is just to kind of paint a picture on where our seasons are, where we should allocate the most dollars. And I know that we have the allocation chart in our policy, but this just gives a visual of what that looks like moving forward into the new year.
Just, I'm curious, session G. July, August?
That is our August session. The morning and evening lessons.
I got it, right.
I had a few questions. Ellen, did you have questions first? Sorry.
No, go, well, the only question I have, and I don't know that this would be, and by the way, excellent job. So I know we introduced like weekend lessons at some point during this past year. And I'm wondering how, if you got a lot of demand for scholarships for those weekend lessons, and if it, I don't know, that was my question. Scholarships, weekend sessions.
I don't know exactly. We only offer lessons on Saturdays currently, so the cost for a Saturday lesson is $34. For a Tukwila resident versus a $41 charge for non-residents. Now, I have seen consistent registration, 100% capacity in our Saturday morning lessons. But I have not introduced Sunday and Saturday lessons, so I'm not sure where the utilization is there. If I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Probably not.
No, the question is unclear. I mean, and I think it's all gonna change too, because we're gonna have an increase. So I guess we can revisit this, once the increase happens and take a look. So it was just curiosity, but thank you very much, and very nice couple of additional, tools that you gave us, and I appreciate that.
Vanessa?
Yeah, so once again, great Tukwila resident participation, especially in the swim lessons. And I know that's something that especially city council, alluded to and talked about at our presentation, so that's great. On page 22, just a notation, the swim club Tukwila residents, the 14 out of, it says 14 out of 30, but
Yeah.
14 out of 24, is what I know I'm reading that is correct. Because
Yes.
30 would be max, so 14 out of 24 would actually be like 58%.
Oh,
And so if we can update that for future reports or even this report, because for grants,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff's important, to reflect our resident Tukwila usage.
Mhm.
And I'm so happy to hear about the wait list data too, that you're looking into that, because that's gonna be another super important
Yes.
data for our grant, showing the need that we have for expanding water, so those kind
Yeah.
of pieces are, although it's interesting for us, it's going to be critical for us to have that data.
yeah, it helps me plan my
Yes.
lessons, which is the biggest thing
Yes.
as well. So I do want that data back, but it's a little difficult to navigate first, but yes, that's on the agenda for the next one.
And then Giving Tree, are we gonna get a TCC poster, one down there too, or we got a bigger poster
Yes,
coming that's?
I have those two already
Oh,
printed, I
great.
can get them down there, but the issue is the QR code is currently linked to the website, but I'm still trying to figure out how to get the donations on the website, which is my struggle still, in figuring out where do I navigate people from the QR code to get the donations?
To like a page that just
Yeah.
says come in.
It's currently linked to our events page, and so, unless I change it to maybe say in-person donations only,
I'm just saying, I appreciate the challenges, but I would suggest getting it down there ASAP, because they are closing for like the week. So people are already starting to not go down because they're not sure when the closure's happening, so the foot traffic's significantly decreasing there. And then Facebook, Instagram probably posts.
So I'm sorry, the donate button does no longer works. It's on our website. Is that what you're saying? So we used to have a donate now button, and that's now not working because it can't link to Explore.
Yeah, because it goes to Amelia currently.
So how are people knowing how to donate? Is it being advertised? Is it publicized to people who want to donate who can't do it online? Or is there a message that comes across, that it's, I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
I just think it's very important because we really worked hard to
Yeah.
get that and to be able to, I understand the challenges.
Yeah,
But for patrons or other people to know how to donate.
the communication is going to be in person until we can figure it out. So the communication that's gonna be broadcasted is in-person donations until we can figure out either a social media platform, both Instagram and Facebook do donations. I don't have an easy solution, but
the in-person stage, what's the difference if I come in? I guess I don't understand Explore. So I come in and I want to do a donation. Does that not go through Explore?
it does, so the online, it's called e-commerce, so their e-commerce page, it works on our end, the administrative end, so like you walk in, you're like, I wanna make a $5 donation, staff member rings you in, it goes through. Just like buying a cookie, but the e-commerce site, I have it set up, but then it says product is not supported yet. So Explore essentially does not have that as an active part of their platform, which I was under the understanding that they were active when we first signed on.
Right.
But I reached out to our account rep, she couldn't figure it out either, she was also having the same issue. I've made a case, but again, a staff member can sell it just like a cookie or a candy bar, but they're unable to do it themselves online, so.
But is the goal to be able to run it through our platform also? Like, I understand doing
Yeah.
Facebook campaigns in addition, et cetera, but is the goal to be able to have that donate now go to Explore?
Yes.
Okay,
But it's still being tracked somehow for a donation. And-
Yes, yeah,
And we don't have what we used to call the giving the tree with people could sign, put a donation on an ornament or whatever type of thing when it hung on the tree.
they will, just.
Traditionally,
Very
most of our donations happen in person from the giving tree. And most donations happen between our lap swimming community and our waterworks community between that opening hour and kind of that 12 p.m. hour. And so really, the e-commerce piece is important as it is, and it is important. It's critical that the communication and everything is available, which I think is what Vanessa's alluding to make sure our community is aware and our staff are aware they can at least.
Well, because
expect
it's just a
donations.
matter, I mean, I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying, I mean, it's just that I don't swim at the pool all the time, I don't go to the pool all the time, but the donate button for me
It's
as a,
important.
as a community citizen was great, I could just go in and donate.
So-
And there may be other citizens like that or who would like to and can't do that, so we're
And I-
missing out on.
And I think too, Anastasia has been doing such a great job at communicating online that has not been happening was not happening consistently before. Now you're doing such a great job that there is an opportunity, obviously, we got challenges right now, but that will lead to more online engagement because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the holidays, and it is a year
Yeah.
round donate, but
No, you're right, because that's what I'm looking at.
yeah.
And it looks like the Tukwila Community Center, who partnered with, I don't know, some sort of Rotary, they're using Venmo. So I don't know. It sounds like from what Anastasia said and what you learned from your account rep, I don't know. I mean, it kind of sounds like Explore has not quite figured it out, how to tie in an e-commerce, which is totally not, I mean, it's not, but I agree with Jerry that, but certainly, I mean, at some point, like hopefully by next, I mean, sometime in 2025, they can figure it out. We need to find out if Explore is looking into it or what's going on, but it looks like the workaround that Tukwila TCC did was Venmo. And, but even if the very worst, even if we can't figure that part out, at least we can, you and Anastasia has communicated that the donations need to be made, maybe in your next communication could be mail a check, or, a picture of a check. Remember what this is, kind of something, funny like that, and encourage people to, mail something in. Cause I agree with Jerry. I mean, I think last year I donated online. It's convenient, but right now it's not working, which, that happens. That's fine. We'll figure it out. But let's, in the meantime, to Vanessa's point with the TCC closing, and that's a place we communicate, let's try and figure out a way to communicate to people that they can drop off a check, they can mail a check in, they can come into the building and, give a donation that way too. So good job.
I just remember the year that we did, the donate button did work, and that we had staff, I don't have them in front of me, but it was posted, and it was significant. the
It
amount of
was,
money that
yeah.
was given,
It's
and that's
easy,
money that we're
yeah,
missing out on,
Yeah,
And we
for
recognize
scholarships
that,
and
yeah.
yeah.
that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I understand that there's a challenge.
No, I'm an online person as well, like, it's convenient, like, you log on in, you just donate, and it's super easy, you don't even have to step out of your house. I think with Amelia, I saw a lot more participation last year in our giving tree than I've seen. That was my second giving tree year, so compared to the first one, it was, I would say it's more significant year than
And
I.
I'm sorry, did we not have Amelia through the end of the year?
We do. We
But
have
it's
it through
too difficult to
February.
try to run the donate button.
It's the confusion piece of parents,
Okay.
shoot, which username do I have to sign in with, and reintroducing the past product. And we're recognizing, and we have, that Amelia is a superior platform at this point from our current struggles, when we talk about this internally. The donation platform, the engagement piece, the engagement bar that says this is our goal, and it shows the tracking, we get that. And that is one of our biggest frustrations with our account rep is, we thought, based on what was shared, this would be a similar experience. And the fact that we can run our entire business off this platform and not able to run our donations currently through Explore is not just a frustration amongst those wishing to donate, also internally with staff.
No, I understand,
Yeah.
and I,
It's
But,
just a
but
point.
on the positive note on the, you know me, the unicorns and rainbows, is that when we have a challenge like this, it makes us kind of think about it a little differently and look at additional opportunities that you have just like described, like Facebook.
or the Venmo even, or, I mean,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff,
So-
there's ways around, there's ways, that is an excellent
PayPal
point.
too, I think, probably.
If we didn't have this challenge, we would have
Oh,
just done
yeah.
it the way we've
Yeah.
always done it, not even have this
It's just better
discussion,
than-
so that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, so it's good.
Yeah, it's all about getting creative here, yeah, at this point. But thank you so much, yeah, thank you. Any
It
other?
sucks, but just do what you can.
It is, but again, it doesn't mean that donations have to end on the
Yeah.
31st of January or 30th, whatever. I think there's plenty of opportunities to push for it later in the year as well.
Start the new year
It's a
out.
year-round campaign.
Yeah, it's year round, exactly.
And I think the year round is where we haven't been pushing, we're only pushing it during holidays, and I was looking at, like, SMAC has their bin in our lobby, and then TCC had their bin, and it's all in December, and I think people may wanna give at some point during the year where maybe we should look at,
Like
additional
Giving
seasons.
Tuesday or something like that. on
Yeah.
Which is
Monday.
what was nice about the donate now button, is it was always readily available, you didn't have to be, you're right about
Yeah.
that, it didn't always have to be the month of December.
Yeah.
And I just, I just went to I don't know what the relationship is between Explore and a company called Daxco. Is that familiar to either Brad or Anastasia? Have you heard that?
I have, yes, it's a software I'm very much familiar with.
Okay, so, because when I did a search for Explore Recreation Software, they threw me to this Daxco place. And they actually have, although I can't click on it, a whole thing that says, grow your good, add a donation. So I think we just need to, I'm sorry, I'm really getting in the weeds on this, and you guys are on top of it anyway. But,
That's good feedback.
And also, Brad, I'll email you what I'm looking at, just so you can see it.
Thank you.
Just so you have it, but it sounds like we know there's a problem, we're working the problem. It's not gonna happen, right away, but we'll get through it, and good job to everybody for working the problem.
Well, I hope the opportunity.
Any more questions regarding operations or district?
I feel like this is like moving backwards now, but I just wanted a quick question about this, the swim club stuff. So like on the Saturday with the Dragon Swim Club, for that 4 hours, is that like multiple groups of 20 groups of kids coming in? So that's like every hour, that's 20 different kids coming in.
Yeah, they have it split by each hour is a group.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's an impressive amount of kids coming.
It
through.
is, it's a lot of kids. And it's
That's a group that wishes to grow in the area. And potentially depending on what happens with our needs through the program reorg, this is an example, there's always a group willing to take what's available. So if you reduce one group's usage, which they may want to keep the reduced amount of pool space to grow Tukwila pool programs, or if they choose to no longer swim at Tukwila pool, there are other swim clubs that are chomping at the bit to be present in this central area. And so PDST is one of those groups that are more than happy with their Saturday usage, but also see opportunity to grow in the future, should it ever be that.
Any more questions regarding district or operations? Seeing none, we will move on to finance committee.
The finance committee met on November 25th to finalize the budget that will be presented later in the agenda. There was public comment from Dave Cookie regarding the rate increase. Like to see something for children to be able to get a good rate to be able to swim, to learn how to swim. We approved the Sunbelt Controls contract, 520897, that's including, the total contract was 4735, and that's including appropriate sales tax. The acid wash for 11,933.78, and the filter goods replacement at 1877.84, which is a budget, or both budget lines, on the budget for 2024. Has some good conversation regarding CIP for 2025, again, which will be presented in the, budget later in the agenda. There will be no meeting in December. We will start brand new in January, 27th, at 5:30. And then we will. You guys are well rested after retirement, and just to pick it up. Yeah, I was gonna be like, chomping at the bit to go back and go through numbers and policies, yes. Cause I'll just be bored out of my mind.
Any,
Make sure that doesn't happen. Oh, no. Thank you for everything.
Did you hear her? She knows. She said, I know.
I know.
any questions for finance committee? Then we will move on to programming, marketing and outreach committee.
Oh, all right. I think I just. I mean, like, I have to say no on it. Yes, we just did a quick review policy of 311 for the base increases, the letter for that. I guess the policy's already there, it was the letter for the rate increases that we're getting sent out. And then the trifold, what? Here it is, less than a month later. Even though there was a bunch of work between that's here, but the discussions on it, and yeah, and yes, for those general ed positions, the brush for work plan. Oh, stuff go off like the grant deadline for the Learn to Swim grants for the USA one, and then information on the Giving Tree. Donation options, which I guess we just had a long discussion about all that, so. No reason to keep going on that. And then, like I said, I just noticed that I didn't put down December's meeting.
The 21st.
First,
And that
December
will
21st.
most likely need to be held. Or will need to be held, at the Tukwila Pool. Just
Oh.
community center will be closed.
okay. So next meeting, December 21st at the Quill Pool. Which will be closed that day, right?
But the meeting space is available.
But what I mean is like, it's not gonna be like as crazy. and
Oh, no, no,
Stuff going
no,
on
no,
because, I mean, we
Good
could have a
point.
meeting in the front lobby.
Good
too,
point.
right?
Or in the pool.
Or in the pool while it's draining,
In the pool.
as we stay away from the drains.
We've done
that.
Been there, set up a table and chairs in the pool.
Oh, that's right, when it was draining.
I forgot about that.
Any questions for FEMA? Then we will move on to TPAC.
So CBAC had their meeting also on November the 16th, and the minutes of such a great conversation as always. They always have lots to say. Talked about appointments that we'll talk about later in the meeting. There's, thank you always for their, dedicated commitment to all year long. The meeting will be Saturday, December 21st at the pool. I will not be able to attend, so I'll need someone to, take the minutes for me. I know Ellen is listed the alternate. Is that something you can do on Saturday through Zoom?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, I might even be able to do it in person. I'm not sure.
Yay, yay.
I know. God.
I will jump in real fast, Vanessa, not to steer this, but meeting space. I've received communication has been confirmed for
Oh, thank you.
2025, since we're on TPAC and
Yeah.
PMOC reports. So that space is confirmed at the rec center. We will also be moving to the executive conference room where we meet in our
Nice.
quarterlies. So the infrastructure tables are all in place, so,
Yes, for old people, that's the old senior room.
yeah.
Okay.
So Shannon was great and was able to accommodate that request. Since the TV, if we ever do a PowerPoint
Yeah, that's great.
presentations, video conferencing is all built in without having to worry. So just a heads up.
That's great.
Any questions regarding TPAC? Then we will move to the feasibility study steering committee.
Yeah, so the presentation, it would be, feasibility has been focused on presentation mostly. We did have a meeting October 24th, and that was just mostly to talk about the presentations, get ready to go on that. We did have a little bit of talk about grant work, actually more than a little. We talked quite a bit about grant work. But then what we've been really focused on this month are the presentations. So the Parks Commission, great meeting. It was at the executive meeting room at the TCC, and there are citizens who are appointed to that commission by the city of Tukwila. So it was very engaging type of meeting. And they were highly engaged. Myers was with us, Ellen came by Zoom, and they had lots of questions regarding preferred concepts, location, amenities. I mean, they even went into detail about, oh, you should add a door out of that room so you don't have to take stuff in and out, maintenance, like a storage room. I mean, great detail oriented questions.
Very engaged.
It was great. They were very supportive, articulated the need for expansion and water. Two of them had experience, one worked with Bellevue
Mhm.
and one in Seattle Parks. So both expressed, one was involved with the expansion in Bellevue, the new aquatic center was
About the project.
or maybe just, so they were really aware of the need for additional space, and the other one at Seattle Parks was sharing about how, the wait lists for swim lessons. So it was good way to start off. Wouldn't you say, Brad?
Oh, absolutely. It was the easier one and more conversational and roundtable-esque, so very comfortable. And again, I think which is what alluded to the engagement. Yeah.
Yeah, and so next one we did was TSD, and I'm not gonna talk much about that meeting because we were all there.
Yeah.
Just a quick update though, tomorrow we are actually on the agenda. Brad and I need to sit down and look at what it looks like. We found out just because we looked at the agenda, so. Yeah, so will just be TSD is TSD. City of Tukwila was the next one. And once again, another engaging, although it wasn't as conversational as the Parks Commission, there was high engagement by all the council members. They all spoke to it in a very positive way.
And all with experiences at the pool.
Yeah.
And that's what I think struck me the most as I was kind of reflecting, as everyone had an experience, whether it be through their own personal participation and knowledge of the pool or through their children.
Yeah, so they all indicated support for the project, very excited about it, and once again articulated the need. There was several questions about funding, because it's all in their minds right now. They passed the budget their budget the week before, so I think they're very much in the, thinking about funding. And we just shared that, it's still early in the process. So we, people were very, Dennis Martinez was very interested in what is our funding capacity. So we shared that with them. And no, it was, I thought that was a good presentation as well. I think it was positive, and they were anxious to hear updates in both in person and however we want to get them in the future. So they still want to know about it. So that was great. Aquatics grant, Brad said he got an email from Q County. He's been asking them and finally it's not publicly posted yet, but it looks like the application is going to open in March.
That is the goal.
So that's good for us. Gives us a little bit of breathing room. We do need to be ready, like grant writer lease, et cetera, or not lease, property, et cetera, by then. So we can't really sit back. There's no feasibility meeting planned for December. We're not planning to do one until January. Just because we've been really active, and we got some other stuff we're catching up on. Doesn't mean we're not working on things. So our next steps will be dealing with the TSD lease, which will be tomorrow. We'll be beginning with that. finish grant writing research and start moving deliberately forward with grant writing research, grant writer hopefully, or what that looks like. We've got some more work to do. Another thing that's gonna be on our first quarter is going to be pressing, forward with requesting a financial audit in the first, from the SAO, because that's required for bonding. And normally they do an accountability audit, which our bonding, Jim Nielsen from the company we had a meeting with, said it really is kind of worthless. It doesn't, it's just a feel-good thing, the accountability audit, it's easier to do. So we're gonna be asking to get the financial audit. That means we are going to be pressing to have it in the first half of the year, because it's a bigger audit and we don't want it to be dragging into our budget season and the end of the year, and even the accountability audit, they push us to the end. So that's what we're gonna be asking for, and we've also got Stuart Isaac, and that scope, we're gonna be following up with them.
And just real quick, I want to tag on to the financial audit. That's typically a 3-year look back, just so everyone's aware, we'll be looking back at 3 years worth of our financials.
Yeah, so, you know, good thing is our records are in good shape. I mean, Brad and I didn't have any concerns about doing it, other than, you know, it's going to be a lot bigger project than the,
Do you and Brad have the bandwidth to do this?
Yes.
Okay.
Should we hire a clerk? I will say that. Let me just jump in there. Yeah, we're gonna be okay. It's, again, these are part of our routines. The financial audit's just gonna be turning over a lot of our reporting and just opening our books, which is appropriate. And not only does it benefit our potential want for bonding in the future and the understanding, I think it's a great report for us as a whole, just as an organization, to have an outside independent look at the last 3 years of our financials, to really paint that picture of our financial stability and where we could potentially move in the future. So I think overall, it's gonna be a great project for us, and well informative.
Okay.
and I mentioned it before, when we talked to, the bond, when Jim Nielsen from the bond, what's the name of the bonding company?
DA Davidson.
David, so, cause he was talking about different pieces, and I said, oh, so if we don't have a financial audit, it's not the end of the world. He said, no, you actually have to have one that will bond with you, you know?
You wanna know your credit rating,
Yes.
right? And your credit rating is gonna determine your rates, as we know. And so that financial audit will also support where we fall on that credit rating. And we're hoping we're AAA.
Brad, did I miss anything with feasibility?
No, hey, thank you.
So anyway, we're taking December off, not really, but you know, we're not officially meeting. We're gonna, once again, like finance, hit the ground running in January. And I promise I'm not gonna bug Brad when he is away on his, or got away or taking time off, right?
Right?
Yes.
Right,
No policy.
right.
Any questions for the feasibility study steering committee?
I just have a quick question. I was looking at the agenda. When did you guys, Vanessa, when did you and Brad take a look at the Tuckwell School Board District agenda?
About an hour ago.
Okay, I'm just not seeing that item. What's it under?
Oh, that was the problem. I looked this weekend and I didn't see it, and then Brad and I were sitting in the lobby waiting for this meeting space to become available. And then he opened up, it says it's under levy.
Yeah, Sharon was like, make sure you tell them that it's in the thing when you get there tonight.
Oh,
Yeah, but
you
it
wanna,
was not, Ellen clearly didn't see the same, like she and I must think the same way, because I did not think that was our agenda item until we actually opened it up, and there was a whole bunch of information that we've gotta sift through.
let me just quickly guide, Ellen, it is under the Tukwila School District. It's item D under section 5. And there's a bunch of attachments under there.
You're muted, that's a good thing, right?
Let's remember, we are on public
Sure.
meeting and comment, but that is where we can find the items for tomorrow's meeting. And then we can discuss tomorrow if anyone would like to hop on a call with Vanessa.
As long as we don't have a forum.
Correct, as long as we don't have a quorum.
And
So-
just to note, the Tukwila School District Board meetings do not follow the same way that the city council does. So if you're wanting to speak, you need to speak in public comment. It's not like you can wait until your item comes up for discussion. You want to speak in public comment, which is actually good because then, you don't have to sit around and wait, although, you probably would want to, but there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a little bit of review that needs to be done.
Okay. Anything else for the SSC? If not, we'll move on to business items. Business item A, public hearing for the 2025 annual budget. I am opening the public hearing for the 2025 annual budget now. Being none in person or none online, I will be closing the public hearing for the 2025 annual budget, and we will move on to business item B. Did I do that okay?
Awesome.
So first is, the second business item is regarding the employee handbook update.
Well,
There's a lot of stuff. Do you want me to take it?
go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, I understand what you're doing, but you wrote that, so I.
So the first thing is the wage scale. That's appendix 8.2, and it's to be consistent with the city of Tukwila minimum wage standard. And it's once again broken into 6 months, the first 6 months, next 6 months, because July 1st, 2025 is the minimum wage for small employers changes. And that's the last time it will change. There was a 3-year graduated phase in. So as of July 1st, 2025, every company in Tukwila who employs more than 15 employees will now all be paying the same minimum wage. It follows the same presumptions that the current wage scale follows. That's for the wage scale. And the other thing the employee handbook will be updating is all job descriptions. Every job description has the wage independently listed. So that's all being proposed to be updated to be consistent with the wage scale. And also, obviously, the executive director and the district clerk job positions are in there too, and the district administrator one is no longer in there. But that's more of a housekeeping thing. Appendix 8.1 is that little Excel chart that shows who gets what benefits. And so the only difference there was that the executive director was added and the director of request operations taken away, the district clerk was added, and the district administrator was taken away, and that's just a comparison between the two. And then the last thing, then we've got org chart. Fred did the new org chart showing the current, and what's really important to remember is this is how we're operating today when we're approving the employee handbook, not what it may be in a month's time or, so that's gonna have to be done separately, which is, it's not a big deal. It's just, I just want to be really clear that it's intentional, that it doesn't have any future possible organization, that it's what it is today. It reflects today. And then once again, the housekeeping updates are just, eliminating the director of aquatics operation and district administrative references and replacing them with executive director references. Did not include an entire copy of the employee handbook. Just did the main pieces as outlined in the memo.
Thank you for this.
But the entire employee handbook will, if it once approved, will be then presented to the staff, because each year they sign that they acknowledge the changes. So it will be updated and that will be done quickly, so it can be effective January 1st.
And it will be also sent to the board.
Yes.
A link
I
to
mean,
it,
a link to it. Right.
yeah, once we can get it on the website, which I know we can.
Yeah.
I just like,
No, I agree with you, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I actually think we should sign it too, but. No, the full-time employee, so.
Yeah.
Just a question on your chart, is this just a little dotted line around
Oh,
it?
that's funny you found that, I thought Ellen was gonna point that out tonight.
I beat you to it.
I thought Ellen was gonna.
It's just a,
It
it's just
was-
a formatting.
It's literally is a screenshot of it,
Oh,
of an Excel spreadsheet.
okay.
And so I accidentally, when I took it, it still was highlighted on that check that I was working on. And so I've redone it for the employee handbook today without the little box around it.
Sorry. I just
I
was
love
wondering if we're the only one that don't get a family fun.
Yes. But that's so funny, I thought it was gonna be Ellen.
That's only because she's had a very long day.
Any? Great job.
Brad, do you have anything else?
No, I think we covered it. The biggest thing is the wage scale. This is the last year, 2025, that we'll be proposing 2 steps essentially within a year for our wage scale. So we'll be moving back to 1 wage scale in 2026. But no major, no, nothing to add.
And we're still, for example, Des Moines that still does not have an updated minimum wage, like CTAC and I believe Renton now has it, they're still lower, so we're very attractive compared to Des Moines at this juncture.
Which may change
Yes,
next year, but we've always remained competitive. They've also independently tried to remain competitive. We are still, and I'm gonna use the word premier, we are a premier place to work for our young people, which is why not only wage, but our atmosphere, our teens and young people enjoy coming to work. So I think lends to why we continue to remain fully staffed at the moment, so, yeah.
Any more questions regarding the employee handbook update?
other than we need a motion.
Yeah. I'd mostly just gonna Ellen to see if you got any. All right, then I will be looking for a motion to approve the employee handbook.
Commissioner Frankel Anderson makes a motion to approve the employee handbook. Without the amendments.
Commissioner, second.
Any discussion regarding the employee handbook update? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, Ellen will her hand. So ayes have it.
Aye.
Thank you. Then we will move on to the 2025 budget resolution 2024-08.
Yep, you got the ball.
Yes, I have. A lot of it's very similar to the document that what we had for the resolutions in the past. Explaining the unrestricted opening balance, the revenue, expenditures, you know, it's all kind of detailed out. Capital improvement funds, you know, we'll budget the 75,000 annually for the CIP life cycle funding, an increase from 50,000 in prior years and 30,000 annually toward the future demolition costs. Just want to make sure that that's noted because it was brought up at a previous meeting in citizens' comments. That we do that. The overall 2025 annual budget notes. The year-end estimate net income, revenues minus expenditures, 505,879.69.
Yay.
This figure is calculated based on
Sorry,
actual.
It's gotta highlight that. We do realize that means a surplus this year.
Estimated.
Estimated
Okay.
through January through October, and estimated figures for November and December 2024. The 2025 general fund unrestricted opening balance estimated is 2,159,368.68. This figure is calculated by adding the 2024 estimated net income to the 2024 actual unrestricted opening balance. Learned a lot during this document. Thank you. The 2025 general fund budget net income surplus of 21,359.47. This is calculated by subtracting the 2024 total general fund budget expenditure of 2,550,52 from the 2025 total budget revenue of 2,021,909.99 for the 21,359.47. A lot of numbers. The one thing I do want to point out, regarding the capital improvement fund, it increased to 75,000 in 2025 for CFP funding, life cycle replacement, the addition of the 75,000 feasibility allocation, 30,000 reserved for the future demolition cost. An additional 45,000 contributed in 2024 from the general fund to pre-fund non-scheduled capital projects. Planned capital expenses aligned with the TMPD life cycle replacement schedule, which is now in here. Thank you very much. Schedule and other approved projects excluding repair work. Key budget capital projects for 2025 include, which was already there, the boiler heat exchanger, pool water, $100,000, the feasibility, 75,000, Notorium concrete removal and or repair, 30,000, slide steps platform, 15,000, pre-funded in 2024. Obviously, it's recommended the board approve the 2025 annual budget resolution 2024-08. And the budget is attached along with, like I said, we now have the CIP and the life cycle replacement plan 2025 update. It's very helpful to have moving forward, and I appreciate all the finance committee's help and our executive director helping me put this all together. We had some interesting budget meetings, and we started on time as normal, and I feel that we accomplished a very good budget for 2025. A lot of robust discussion.
Thank you very much.
One thing, like, and I don't think this needs to be done separately, but by approving this budget, it also approves or assumes a pre-funding in 2024 of 45,000 for CIP projects. Now, I don't know if we need a separate motion for that or not. I was just thinking about that today. I don't
think so, because it's part of all, we have it noted in this.
Yeah, so it presupposes that it's on this budget. So I just wanted to highlight the fact that although it's a 2025 budget, it's also approving the 2024 additional allocation of $45,000 for those two CIP projects that now are added to the life cycle, the slide steps and the bleachers.
I agree.
Works for me.
Do you want me to read the resolution 2024-08 by title only? Because we already had the open meeting.
We don't need a motion for
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
We do need a motion to read by title only.
Let me just jump back.
Commissioner Zappa makes motion to read BoC, or sorry, annual budget resolution 2024-08 by title only.
Commissioner Shipman seconds.
Got a first and a second. Any discussion regarding reading resolution 2024-08 by title only? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ellen is muted, but she
Aye.
said
Sorry, it's a mute button. Aye.
Okay. Now,
ayes have it.
And I
I
think
can
you just
read it.
had a volunteer here to
Oh,
read it.
then go for it.
I would jump on that.
that's what happens when you don't work. Resolution 2024-08, 2025 annual budget resolution. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Tukwila Pool Metropolitan Park District adopting the annual budget of the Tukwila Pool Metropolitan Park District for the fiscal year 2025.
Any more discussion regarding the budget?
If you want a little more after the motion.
Another motion to approve the budget.
Yep, that's what I'm looking for. If there's no more discussion regarding the
Oh,
budget,
aren't you
Well, I'm just saying that we're gonna have to open up for discussion again after that.
Okay, yes, let's not drag it. Okay,
Oh, yeah,
Commissioner
okay.
Duffel makes a motion to approve the 2025 annual budget, resolution 2024-08.
Then I need a second.
Commissioner Frangelo Anderson seconds.
Now we're for discussion regarding the budget.
Commissioner Shipman seems like he wants to talk about it.
I just wanted to discuss properly in the proper time for discussion. To say thank you to everybody for all your hard work in the budget. It's always mind blowing to me that you do such amazing work. Not mind blowing that you can, that you do
That's my fault, really.
And, you know, always grateful, thank you.
I think it speaks to the collaborative nature.
It's definitely a team of 15 and everything.
One thing I would just, I mean, just to be completely clear, and I'm sure it's in here somewhere, I can't remember, but the reason it is section 2, it's $4,181,278.67 is because includes our unrestricted opening balance. So it's, although we are not spending that much in our, operations, it includes our estimated appropriations as well as that. So it gives us that buffer. That was a recommendation that was made years ago to give us extra buffer so we don't have to do budget amendments, et cetera. So that if someone says, oh my goodness, that's wrong, why is it that way? There is intentionally that way.
Right.
Any more discussion regarding the budget? If not, I'm looking, oh wait, we already have one to approve. All in favor of approving the budget, say aye.
Hi, thank
Ayes
you.
have it.
No, it was good.
I said aye.
Yeah.
And I turn around.
Then-
No, Jerry was just jumping up and down, tapping her toes because the budget's over and approved.
It's officially over.
Well, just, no.
It's like Dorothy and the Wizard
I
of
know.
Oz.
Toto, I just want to go home.
But
Then we will move on to the 2025 regular meeting schedule resolution 2024-09.
And this is just something we have to do every year, and we actually have to approve the meeting schedule by resolution, which is why it's resolution 2024-09. Thank you, Ellen, Commissioner Gambler, for putting together the memo and the resolution for us. Just setting it for the standard second Monday of the month for the year 2025.
You need a motion.
I need a motion to read it by title only.
Commissioner
I
Francis,
told you by this number, maybe you get this.
Commissioner Francello Anderson makes a motion to read resolution 2024-09 by title only.
Commissioner Zappa, makes seconds.
Got it, the
I'm
second.
really excited about that one.
Any discussion regarding reading resolution 2024-09 by title only? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Ayes have it. Okay, so. Resolution 2024-09, the 2025 regular meeting schedule resolution. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Tuckahoe Metropolitan Park District establishing the 2025 regular meeting schedule for the Board of Commissioners.
Commissioner Zappa makes a motion to approve resolution 2024-09.
Commissioner Shipman second.
Got a first and a second. Any discussion regarding the 2025 regular meeting schedule?
Just that, as Brad, watching it, Brad talked about TPAC's meeting schedule, but we are confirmed here at TSD for the 2025. Heaven's sakes.
I'm excited that we don't have to have the discussion about the February meeting being on Valentine's Day this year.
Yeah, look at that too. Oh, yeah, because I knew you'd bring that.
Important day for some things.
It's not necessarily important to me, but it's important to people in the family.
Yeah, it's on like, quite often it's on like Greg's birthday and my birthday and Alex's birthday. in
Oh,
one
yeah,
year.
see, look at all that.
That's pretty impressive.
So all in favor of approving the 2025 regular meeting schedule resolution 2024-09, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, ayes have it, it is approved. Then we were moving on to the 2025 Board of Commissioners officer selection. So it's that time of year again where we must appoint a board president and a board clerk for 2025. Any volunteers?
I mean, I'll volunteer to continue as, well, not continue, I can, volunteer to be president.
Wow, don't sound so excited.
You don't, I'm not very happy.
Oh, no, because I'm not worried at all, we've got, you know, excellent people.
To be frank, you say, please,
But no, I'd be happy to do it, no, please don't take that hesitancy in the wrong way, I'm happy to do it, and support is there, so. Even happier when we get a clerk.
We're almost there. First of the year.
We have to, do we do them one at a time or?
Let's do one at a time. No, let's do,
No, you can do it at a time.
oh, okay. So we'll do board president first for 2025. So
Because
looking,
someone may not want that.
Commissioner Shipman nominates Commissioner Zabito as president
And I accept the
for the
nomination,
2025.
okay.
which is actually something that needs to be recorded, just FYI, that they accept the nomination.
Oh,
They actually have to be present, you can't just nominate someone.
Who's not?
Remember we had that discussion. We felt it was someone's turn and then we were told that we couldn't do it because they weren't here, so.
Yes.
so that's the trick. You just don't come to the December meeting. Got it.
Of course.
All in favor of? Oh, any discussion regarding?
And do we need to have a second on that too?
I don't
Or
believe
do we even have a motion for it?
No, it's not.
Just a
not
nomination.
Any more discussion regarding Vanessa being board president in 2025? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Now board clerk.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vanessa.
I'm happy to be the board clerk.
Ooh. I love
Just
it,
putting it out there.
I love it.
Commissioner Shipman nominates.
That was quick.
Did you nominate? I didn't hear my name.
Angela Anderson, Commissioner, for the board clerk position for 2025.
Any discussion regarding Jerry becoming board clerk for 2025?
Just that we will be in very good hands. I don't know anyone, literally, who pays more careful attention to the records, which is what the clerk is supposed to do. No, I mean, seriously, and I'm not saying this lightly because you know I mean it 100%. Finance meetings, like this, if there's one thing, one T that's not crossed or I that's not dotted, it goes back to Amy or whoever it is, you know, and or Brad deals with it, and but to have that level of interest. And now you're retired, I'm right.
Can't wait.
Your wife in detail.
I need something to do,
or-
organize it.
We've already got boxes pulled for you.
Bless you, I mean, really, I know, you know, it is a lot of work because there are.
Yes, I know it is.
Clerk has duties associated with it officially, so I really appreciate you. Willing to do
I
this.
appreciate all of you and I'm happy to do it.
Thank you, thank you. This will be a good team.
I think it's, yeah, a great team for transition.
Yeah.
With the new position for executive. director and moving forward with feasibility.
Well, first we have to approve.
Oh.
Without any more, if there's no more discussion, all in favor of approving Jerry as board clerk of 2025, say aye.
I,
Aye, ayes have it. Thank you, Vanessa and Jerry. Now we will move on to PTAC appointments.
Okay, where are we going?
And similarly to appointments, you know, in officer selection, in December, we also look at the TPAC appointments. And as clerk for the year, it's been my honor to attend most of the meetings, actually, and listen to all of the great input. Really appreciate everything that TPAC brings and the insight, the different lenses and views. So, really appreciate in whatever capacity people wish to participate, it's helpful. So, there's 3 positions that are up for, election this year. And position 3, 4, 5, they're currently being held by Sraymond, Sharon, and Victor. And all 3 of them, when approached, our policy has, or our precedence, I should say, not policy, precedence has been to ask the current members if they'd like to be reappointed, and you can see the comments they all made. So all 3 of them were interested in running for another year. So there was a discussion at TPAC regarding Bailey and a student position. And I talked with Erin a little bit about it, and Bailey's gonna be in high school in September. Because technically the bylaws do say high school. So I did offer, you know, maybe a PMOC position, but for TPAC, absolutely. September, we're gonna be like June, we're gonna be getting her to
That's
sign up and, but if she'd like to be PMOC, that's something we can do too. So I just wanted to make sure we address that. Because we really appreciate, once again, her view and lens, as a student here in Czechia, so. So, yeah, that's all I have about that, just other than, motion to appoint these 3 positions.
You need a motion to do that.
I think so.
Do we have to do it separately or can we do it all at once?
Well, because they're all,
Up at the same time.
because they all said, yeah, unless someone wanted to see the problem about doing it separate, I mean, you know, it's not a problem there. But technically you should do it individually in case someone has an issue with one person. So it's not a good precedent to do them all individually.
Okay.
I think we can nominate, but they've
I'm gonna say
already
nominate.
accepted,
So they've
so,
already been, so this is a motion to approve.
yeah.
Okay, Commissioner Frangela Henderson makes a motion to approve position number 3 for Sraymond Sari,
Sorry, Mom, sorry.
Sari for 2025.
Commissioner Shipman seconds.
Hold on,
Oh,
they will be, sorry, and I forgot to give that detail, it's actually through
It's gonna say.
2026,
It's gonna
because I
say.
forgot to put that in
I
there.
thought it was longer than 2
2
years.
year.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
2 years.
Do I withdraw and have to make a new
Yeah.
motion? Okay, I withdraw my motion. Commissioner Frangela Henderson, thank you. Makes a motion to approve position number 3 for TPAC, Sraymond Suri until 12/31/2026. Correct?
Yes.
Hmm.
Commissioner Zappa seconds.
Got a first and a second. Any discussion regarding position 3?
Well, thank you to Raymond for, you know, volunteering. I hear she was a very important asset at our pumpkin plunge and.
She was.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
And also,
Yeah,
All in favor of approving position 3? Shremont, for till December 31st, 2026, say aye.
I,
Aye. Ayes have it. It is approved. Then we will move on to motion for position 4.
Commissioner Frangela Henderson makes a motion to approve TPAC position number 4, Sharon Shipman to 12/31/2026.
Commissioner Zappa seconds.
Got a first and a second. Any discussion for position 4?
Well, just, yeah, I mean, Sharon, she's just provides so much input, so dedicated, and really appreciate everything that she provides despite all of her additional,
Mhm.
commitments and schedule, et cetera. I really appreciate the commitment. So thank you so much.
All in favor of approving position 4 for Sharon, term ending 12/31/26, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Now looking for a motion for number 5.
Commissioner Frangela Anderson makes a motion to approve TPAC appointment number 5 to Victor Masters expiring 12/31/2026.
Commissioner Zappa seconds.
Any discussion regarding position 5?
Once again, sorry.
No, please, Vanessa.
I'm just gonna say, Victor is, comes from a unique perspective, being a city of Tukwila police officer, and has provided some interesting insight when we were looking into some different things. So appreciate, once again, a different lens, a different perspective. So thanks to him. And he did say that his, now that they're more fully staffed
Yeah.
at the police department, that he will be able to participate more. Brad, you were gonna say something?
Along the lines of the safety piece, I think there's opportunity with Victor in this coming year, especially with his schedule allowing for more participation from a safety aspect, being on school grounds, a community aspect, to have a voice centered around community and or facility safety supports kind of where we need to be and how we need to align with our school districts. And I think he'd be a great voice to lend to those discussions.
All,
I was to say, like, on my end though, like, to all that being said, though, I haven't seen or heard anything minus one meeting from him, and so I am a little discouraged for what that future could hold. Not that we need to like hold a position open for anybody, but
And that
I
was.
do think it's another discussion we need to have about TPAC and like, the volunteers that we bring in as volunteers versus people that are sitting members as TPAC.
So I actually had a note about that, Aaron, because of the discussion
Sure,
that we
yeah.
had, like, in 2025, to maybe have a discussion, like TPAC could have a discussion about the bylaws and roles, expectations, ideas, and what that actually looks like, and to make it relevant for expectations.
Yeah. Then we all in favor of approving position 5 for Victor for ending in 12/31/2026, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So we have 4 items in a day. Good.
once again, thank you so much to TPAC.
Sure.
And I will reach out to each of those individuals and personally, and let them know that they're officially appointed for 26, and thank them for the permission.
Thank you very much. And we will be moving on to our 2025 professional service agreement renewals for our attorney and CPA.
So so I reached out to both Brian and to Alan, our attorney and accountant in November, just asking them for updated quotes. Brian came back with his new rates, and he said it was gonna be a 2-year phased increase. So this was the first of 2 years to bring him more in line with what the industry standard is. So the scope of work and as a draft scope of work exhibit A for Brian reflects that. We always seem pleased with Brian's insight and his attention to special purpose districts. So that's been very helpful. The fact he's the attorney also for Des Moines, a very similar district, is helpful too. So that's.
Yeah, and I just want to jump in, his relationship across the industry when it comes to special purpose municipality, and we heard that not only obviously through our counterparts with Des Moines, but also through our bonding. And it's a very unique community, and I think he's a great guy to have on our team from a service perspective.
Yeah, and so, the second one, Alan Dance, GDM, they've been with us since the, MPD started. I have not yet heard back. I've sent a couple emails. I'm still waiting to hear back on an updated scope. I'm assuming that it's the same unless I hear otherwise, but when we approve this, we may want to, approve it up to a certain amount because, I don't want to bring it back in a special meeting because the rate went up, first over what is being presented right here. I would just say to it, to a certain amount. Not to exceed so much per hour.
What was Brian's increase?
Yeah, unfortunately, I just did not get a response. But that being said, what he does provide, he does do our 1099s every year, and the advice the reason that they were brought in is because they do fund accounting, which is unique to governments, and he does have that experience and background, and he's very knowledgeable. So I have no issues with retaining him as long-term for the company.
Vanessa, I would just like to, I think that, maybe once we get a clerk in or whatever, I think we need to look at succession. Because
Yeah.
both Brian and Alan, might be coming to the end of their career, and I don't know that we have any backup. And that's frightening.
So, no, and so Brian's actually spoken to that in the past about his, commitment to succession. So that's a good thing on the attorney's side because he is not interested in leaving people in the lurch. So, yes, but that needs to be an intentional discussion as to what does it look like for us as a district.
Yes.
So
Up to $4.75 an hour,
I would just say, I
500.
mean, I do not want to bring this back. It's not that I don't want to, it's that,
Yeah, I think that's a fair figure. It shouldn't be that.
No,
high,
that's-
But that's up to, yes.
and not to exceed
Not to exceed $500 per hour.
that,
Do we need a motion?
we need a motion for each one. Because someone may have an issue with one of them.
Oh. Okay, Commissioner Frangela Anderson makes a motion to approve Sooner Law Offices billing hourly rate at $3.60 per hour. Paralegal time will be billed at $175 per hour. For 2025.
Commissioner Zappa, second.
Got a first and a second, any discussion for the 2025 service agreement renewal of Snare Law? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. And moving on to the second motion.
Commissioner Frangela Anderson makes a motion to approve GDM Private Financial Solutions up to $500 an hour for 2025. Pending confirmation.
Commissioner Zappa, seconds.
Got a first and a second, any discussion regarding professional service agreement renewal with RCPA, GDM Private Financial Solutions?
No, just like, and on both of them, I guess I should have noted, I mean, what we budget and what we actually spend is quite low. Because we are able to do a lot of stuff in-house, but it's there in case we need it, especially legal, but even CPA. So we may be using more of that this year. I know the historical billings are as part of Exhibit A. But we made the transition, et cetera, because there's the annual report that will need to be done, and there was some additional training there. So it's pretty well set up. The process is there now, but just to know that although the historical billings show it quite low this year, we can be actually. And well spent.
All in favor of approving the 2025 professional service agreement renewal with BDM Private Financial Solutions, say aye.
I,
Ayes have it. That is it for the business items on the miscellaneous. I just want to start out by saying thank you so much to everybody that's helped out this year. I very appreciate it. Especially to Vanessa and Brad, who's really stepped up during this transitional period. There's no way I could thank you guys so much for helping me keep my sanity. That's all I have.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and I know everyone's gonna say the same, just thanks,
Yeah.
Andrew. This was a year that no one really would have liked to be president. I know it was a tough year. It was a tough year for all of you, but for all of us, it was a very tough year for you, and I appreciated so much your grace that you handled all the difficult situations. So thank you to everything you did as president.
Definitely.
I want to especially say the challenges of not intending to manage people and or situations and the willingness to step into situations that you may or may not have knowledge, comfort, understanding in, and being able to navigate, support and actively work through those situations was noticeable and appreciated. And again, I appreciate seeing that type of leadership regardless of the background in which we lead. So thank you for participating.
I just have one miscellaneous. Do we have any update on the report from Aggressive Dynamics? Agreement Dynamics? Agreement.
The update, I did receive an email from from Agreement Dynamics regarding short summary of interviews and findings. We're essentially gonna be reaching back out to ask that it be more formalized outside of just an email. We received an email summary. I think what we're looking for is something to show letterhead, kind of just a little bit more of a formal presentation on that. So yes, she and I will be meeting this week to discuss that before I take off. Yeah. We're all agree.
And just to know, Brad, you're.
Not aggressive. Agreement. Let me clarify agreement.
Sorry, I had the A part.
Hey, it's all good. I like the name of the company though.
So just, what days are you going to be away? Just
Friday the 13th, the scary day, so I figured I'd take a day, lock myself up, and through Thursday, because I need to be back on site to train the team on how to pull the plug on the pool.
not just the stuff.
It's not just so we'll be on site Friday mid-afternoon through evening, just to make sure everything gets done appropriately, things get drained, and then there'll be regular check-ins through the evening hours and early morning hours, just to make sure we're not over draining to the point where the system can't catch up.
Do
So
we need to coordinate with the sewer
Nope.
district?
last year or the last time we did this, we verified they did not require, and I believe they even emailed me and said, you don't need to let us know. So, yeah, we're just gonna dump, they'll calculate and bill us appropriately. Yeah, so, we
Yeah,
typically do, yeah. Cause we got the dump fee and the full fill water bill last year when I did it, and so we've got a good indication of what this cost should be. And then Saturday, confirming pool is draining. It needs to be drained by Monday for the acid wash team to come in and start the acid wash process of the pool liner. And that was confirmed today as well, that they do expect to be on site Monday morning. So the pool needs to be completely drained, bulkhead needs to be completely cleaned out prior to the acid wash. So we'll be working Friday through that weekend, and then through that following week on various other projects. So if anybody wants to stop by or check in on things, you're more than welcome. The team should be there between 8 and 5 PM. Everyone's gonna be there on the 21st. Good times. Totally forgot. So pool closure and time off. Yeah,
Right?
And are you taking additional time after that?
no,
Okay, so you'll
Rolls
be
into the new year.
back by the 21st.
yeah, back up by the 19th, 20th half day, and then fully on site essentially the 21st through pool closure, which is
That
the
doesn't sound very
31st.
much time.
What's that? The time I'm taking off? Yeah, it's about a week when you count
not
the
a
weekend.
Out.
It's about, hey, there's some things that need to get done. There's a lot that needs to get done leading up. So this is a good time to do it. We're slow. Programs have ended at the pool. So there's not a lot of demand on the facility as well as from the staff side of things. So this is the perfect opportunity to kind of disappear for a few days. As Andrew said, please return, which I do plan on returning. And so he made sure that was a statement. But yeah, so we'll be ready to go. And so, and like I said earlier, everything we're doing through pool closure and or through my time off should be no major impact to the facility. So, and all good things. Miscellaneous though, are we still on miscellaneous? I do want to share, because of our 20% rate increase that we approved prior meetings, to this day, we still have not received significant feedback from our community. Most of those that are aware, those that come in, see the signage, have read the newsletters, especially our lap swim, our water aerobics communities are all understanding. And so they're either gonna pre-purchase their passes towards the end of the year, or they're just gonna roll through with the new rate changes. So far, it's been quiet, but also a feeling of understanding, based on what we provide and how regular we are in our operation.
That's good news. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing.
You're welcome.
So I'm looking for, nobody has any other miscellaneous, so I'm looking for a motion.
I don't want this year to end. Commissionership in seconds.
Got a first and a second, any discussion on adjournment? Seeing none, all in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, ayes have it, we are adjourned at 7:44.
Excellent work.
Bye.
Hey, Ellen, before you hop off, I'm gonna throw some things in your mailbox on my way home for tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. You're
Yeah,
gonna,
I printed off resumes and some loose interview questions,
oh, okay. All right.
just so you can engage with us.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
The card and
Yeah, you're welcome.
the bank card. What is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I have this,
Oh, you have it?
yes.
Oh,
I think this would
perfect.
be the envelope that was with it.
Do these, I know we can send them out PDF. Do you want to sign them just in case?